Hello, everyone. Welcome to E2 language pronunciation session for IELTS. Okay, so nice to have you here. My name's Teacher David, and I'm the head teacher here at E2 Language, and I'm going to take you through our pronunciation class. So welcome aboard. Nice to have you here. You can chat. Hello, Martha. Nice to have you here. You can chat. If you see me looking off to the side, it's because I read the chat box on my other screen over here. But great to have you aboard. We're going to practice pronunciation. Remember that pronunciation is part of your assessment for speaking for IELTS, but it's also and a very important part because you will score more highly on your pronunciation skills if you know what to do. And the process for knowing what to do is to learn what it is that you need to do, become aware of it, and then practice doing it and get good at it. So that's the same for all of our learning processes. But how do you become aware of what it is that you need to sound like? Well, there are two phases for pronunciation learning. One is awareness, listening, identifying, singling out sounds, and then being able to produce. So awareness and production. And we're going to do both of those in this session here. I'm going to talk for a bit and explain things, but also my video assistant, Michelle, will be along and you'll see and get to meet her. And also you'll be doing a lot of practice. So it's action, it's do, because we want to become aware of what the sound is, and then we want to produce it by using our muscles to do it. The four sounds we're going to have a look at today are t, d, ua, and oi. So t, d, ua, and oi. And by the end of this session, you will be fully aware of what these sounds sound like, how we write the sounds and spell some of the sounds, and also how to produce the sound so you can go away and keep practicing. Now, before we begin, I need to know that can you hear me and can you see me? So if you can write in the chat box that you can hear and see, then I know all the technicals are working. Excellent. Excellent. Okay, so nice to have you here. Yep, all's good. Great. So technicals are working for all of us. Brilliant. All right, then. The next thing that we need to know is that in the chat box, I will read your writing. So rather than you chat to each other, I will see what you comment. You're not seeing Pachu, then everybody else can Pachu. So you must have to either open up the video link that's on your page there, or check your video settings. Okay, you should be able to see Pachu. Let me know when you can, because everybody else can. Now, the material that we use in this class is taken from Speaking Lab. And if you have paid access to E2 Language, you also have free access to E2 School. And the E2 School Speaking Lab classes are also on Wednesday at 7 p.m. And on Thursday, there's a fabulous sound workshop that's on at 3:30 p.m. Melbourne time. So both of those times are Melbourne times, and they are available to you if you subscribe to E2 Language, and then you get free access to E2 School. In today's lesson, I'll show you how to use those features that are on E2 School, should you wish to access those. And we're going to learn to say four sounds, and those four sounds are t, d, ua, and oi, and you'll learn how to spell the sound. So it's going to help you with your spelling as well as your pronunciation. Sounds good, huh? Okay, so let's get started. Okay, Pachu, I'm hoping you can fix your technical issue there. Let's get started. The first sound is, remember, t, d, ua, and oi, t, as in tie. Now, if you have a look at this symbol, and it's a phonetic symbol, there are 44 phonemes or phonetic sounds in the English language, 44 identifiable single sounds. What you do from your language, whichever your first language is, there are different numbers of phonetic sounds in each language. In English, there are 44. The symbol that you see, this two lines and a t, identifies this single sound or single phoneme. And this is the sound.
T, t, t.
Okay, there it is again.
T, t, t.
Right. So that's the single sound represented by this phoneme. Symbol, phonetic symbol. When we join our phonetic symbols together, it's called the phonetic spelling. So instead of A, B, C, D, E, F, G, etc., 26 letters of the alphabet to spell, we can spell in sound symbols. And when we spell out words in sound symbols, we can work out how to pronounce them accurately. And those sound symbols are, as many of you know already, part of the International Phonetic Alphabet, and they're what dictionaries use. So when we have a look at the phonetic spelling of words in the dictionary, if we can get that right, I don't know what that word, civil. So we see the phonetic spelling there. Great. So they are the symbols that represent the sounds. They are the phonetic symbols. Join them together and we can say each word. Yep. Pachu, the issue is on your side. I can't enable it from this side. So you'll have to fix your own technical camera issue there. Everybody else can hear and see. Okay, so maybe log out and log back in again. So those symbols join together are phonetic symbols phonetic symbols join together phonetic spellings of words. We also like here to have a symbol which is of a graphic. Hang on, what happened there? A graphic. Wait 1 second while I just get that back. And that graphic is a tie. So t, as in the word tie. Great. So just going to get Michelle, who's our video assistant here, to explain a little bit more about this sound. So listening.
T as in tiny. Step 1, the sound. T. 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 Step 2, use the sound in words. Tiny. Teach. Potential. Better. Interest. Context. Step 3, practice. Keep up the good work and continue practicing the T sound by completing the listening and speaking activities.
Thank you, Michelle. Now, here's the sound.
T.
Right. Now, what are we doing? Now, our muscles, our lip, tongue, vocal cords, our muscles connect through our brain, through our ears, and then we produce the sound. To produce that sound that we heard, which is t, we lower our bottom lip. The tip of our tongue is brought forward to behind the teeth at the front of the palate. So we do exactly what we see here.
T.
Again.
T.
And you.
T.
Again.
T.
Now I have to do what I'm told to do by the picture as well to get the right sound. Now let me see if this works. On Speaking Lab, you can record yourself and get feedback, and we want to be in the green zone. So listen, let's see if this works. Tiny, teach, potential, better, interest, context. Let me see how I went. Now, some days yay, 99. Now I can only get 99 because that's as high as it goes. So let's have a look. Yes, I got T-I-N-E, teach, to each, right? Potential, potential, interest, and context. This is our phonetic spelling. So now we can get accurate feedback on what it is that you sound like. So when you sign up to Speaking Lab, you can use this feature in order to get feedback on what it is that you sound like. So does that sound like a good idea? If you think it's a good idea, write 5 in the chat box, meaning high 5, good idea. So if you think it's a good idea to get that sort of feedback on your pronunciation, great. then that feature is available on Speaking Lab. So when you join with us at E2 Language, you can use the same login for access to E2 School. Good idea. Yeah, good one. So then you get to know what it is that you sound like rather than keeping repeating virtual mispronunciation of the word. So you get very accurate at it. It's a good feature, isn't it? Useful tool. Good one, Martha. 96% of words in the English language that have the sound t are written with a single T. Some 2% have a double T, and odd ones like receipt have a PT. So Thai teacher cat, other spellings. Now I want you to read these out loud and pronounce the t sound and recognize the spelling at the same time. So we're looking at the relationship between sound and spelling or writing. So read them all out loud. Once you've done it, let me know. Tell me you've done it in the chat box. Good fun. Alex K found a tick to use as well. Good work. Okay, so that's about the time it takes. We're going to use our eyes and our ears to recognize the sound and what it looks like. Now, t and d are very important because the past tense in the English language is formed by adding the suffix ed to root words. So, and this is a very good thing to learn. So, id, d, or t. So if a verb ends in t or d sound, as in start, and then we form the past, started, then the sound for that suffix or phoneme at the end of the word is id. There is I, d, id. For example, want, past tense, wanted. Add, d, past tense, added. It's very worthwhile taking a screenshot of this and practicing. If the root word or verb ends in a vowel or a voiced sound, play, then we add a d sound. Fail, now voiced, we're going to learn that means our vocal cords are engaged. So fail, it's not a soft sound, it's a voiced sound. Fail becomes failed. Return, voiced sound, returned. Play, vowel, played. So started, failed, and if a verb ends in a voiceless sound like mark, help, pass, our vocal cords aren't involved, we end up with a t sound. Marked, helped, passed. Started, failed, marked. Ud, d, t. Is that clear? If it is, write 5 in the chat box. Ud, d, t. Because today we're focusing on d and t. Good one. So our ears distinguish the sounds and our eyes can start to work it out as well. And then we produce that sound. So awareness and production. Nice. Good one. All right. So how do we, let's just move forward, see what else there was. Let's review. Battery, little, butter. We're going to drop the lip. Favorite, brunette, Thailand, debt, receipt, two. Okay. Now, 1, 2, and 3. Can you write the words that need to go in the blank that have the t sound in them? Remember, tip of the tongue behind the teeth. For 1, 2, and 3, and write the answers, spell the answers correctly in the chat box. And hello everyone on YouTube as well. Great to have you here. Excellent. Okay, good work. Okay, thanks for answering positively as well. Now, what's your spelling? Single T, double T, PT. Now, this one was our PT word. So what was our PT word to practice? Good one. Some of you got it right. And you have to get the sound before the PT correct as well. The P, of course, is silent. So let's try it. What time is it? Oh, no. My phone is running low on battery. Would you like me to print a, looks like FPOS, receipt? Are we right? Yes, we are. All t sounds. Yep. And that's all we're focusing on in this first quarter of the lesson. Hang in there with me when that drops out. We've got to make sure that our share arrangements are correct. So I'm just going to share that screen again. Yep. Okay. So we're up to lesson 7. T as in tie. So we're going to choose the right sound. Now, remember we spoke about 2 parts for pronunciation learning: awareness and production. This part is awareness, hearing the sound and identifying it. Good one. All right. So the sound is
T. T. T.
Okay. Which word, single word, word 1, word 2, word 3, or word 4 contains the
T. T. T.
sound? Okay. I'm going to play each one twice. Write the number in the chat box.
Through. To. Who. Glue. Through. To. Who. Glue. T. 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 To.
Yes, in fact, it was 2, wasn't it? Good work. So, next one. Here's our sound.
T. 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 Snacks. Max. Thanks. Tax. Snacks. Max. Thanks. Tax. Tax.
Correct. And this one?
T. 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 Dime. Rhyme. Time. Slime. Dime. Rhyme. Time. Slime.
Yeah.
Time.
Okay. You've got to move that quickly. Well done. So make your choices quickly. Now, those sounds are also contained in full words. Now, of course, you can see from the spelling what it's likely to be, but use the audio or awareness practice we're doing to identify which words contain our sound. Remember, our sound for this section is
T. 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 T.
right. Which
T.
word?
T.
Which words contain that sound? And here's the sentence. I'm going to play the audio. Write the words in the chat box that you hear that contain that sound or that phoneme.
Since 1990, the divorce rate among adults aged 50 years and older has tripled.
T.
Since 1990, the divorce rate among adults aged 50 years and older has tripled. Since 1990, the divorce rate among adults aged 50 years and older has tripled.
All right, now there are other words in there, aren't there? What are they? Yes, that seems to have it, and so does that. Now, are we correct? 1, 2, 3, 4, yes. Let's have a look. Rate, adults. 50, tripled. Yeah, so when we submit, yes, we're correct. So high five, everyone. Good ears is what we're developing. Awareness of the sound. Good work. Which words contain t in this sentence?
This trend, along with longer life expectancy, has resulted in many adults forming new partnerships later in life. This trend, along with longer life expectancy, has resulted in many adults forming new partnerships later in life. This trend, along with longer life expectancy, has resulted in many adults forming new partnerships later in life. This trend, along with longer life expectancy, has resulted in many adults forming new partnerships later in life.
Yes, good work, everyone. Okay, can we keep up? Alrighty, now in this one, our tongue twister practice is our production section. So remember, we became aware of the sound. Now we're going to produce the sound. So listen and repeat.
10 sisters took 22 hours to travel to Timbuktu.
Repeat.
Ten sisters took 22 hours to travel to Timbuktu. Ten sisters took 22 hours to travel to Timbuktu.
Now, don't forget you're raising the tongue behind the teeth and doing it accurately. Even as I speak, you're practicing accurately to distinguish it from which we'll practice next. Here we go, this lot.
At least the priest got to feast on a treat before taking to the streets to preach. At least the priest got to feast on a treat before taking to the streets to preach. At least the priest got to feast on a treat before taking to the streets to preach.
Great. Now, by the end of the hour, your tongue will be a little bit tired in places. So now, the next best thing to practice after tongue twisters is, of course, read alouds. Now, you can pick up a text at any stage, a book you're interested in reading, and read it aloud. It's a very good way of practicing your pronunciation. In this case, we're going to practice these sentences here. Now, feast on a treat. A treat is like a sweet or something very special. Now, the first time you hear this, just listen and read. Second time, I want you to read along with the native speaker, because then you'll hear the rhythm and the stress as well of the words that the native speaker produces. It's a very good way to correct your L1 if you're a Portuguese speaker or a speaker of Hindi or an Arabic speaker, to get the rhythm of the native speaker and also to get the word stress or stress patterns happening as well. So listen silently and read along first.
Since 1990, the divorce rate among adults aged 50 years and older has tripled.
Great. Now this time, read along with the recording. Are you ready?
Since 1990, the divorce rate among adults aged 50 years and older has tripled.
And again.
Since 1990, the divorce rate among adults aged 50 years and older has tripled.
Great. So don't forget to read aloud on your side so you can hear yourself producing the words and sounds at the same time as the native speaker. This one, just silently read along with your eyes.
This trend, along with longer life expectancy, has resulted in many adults forming new partnerships later in life.
This time, read along with Colin.
This trend, along with longer life expectancy, has resulted in many adults forming new partnerships later in life.
And again.
This trend, along with longer life expectancy, has resulted in many adults forming new partnerships later in life.
Great. Now, if you found that useful, write 5 in the chat box. It's a great way to practice pronunciation, is to read along with the native speakers. And if you can do it here, you can then do it great way. Good one. So you're hearing, but you're keeping up with the rhythm as well. So you can do it whenever you've got a text that the reader is speaking. And TED Talks will do that for you. Good one, Pachu. Excellent. All right. Now that was ch. Now we're going to look at the difference between t and d. There's our phonetic symbol. There's our graphic. D as in dog. We're trying to remember that so we can remember the sound.
D, d, d,
Here it is again.
d,
D, D,
Different from t, isn't it? So how do we produce that? Well, Michelle's going to explain a little bit of it.
D as in dynamite. Step 1, the sound. D, 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 D. Step 2, use the sound in words. Dynamite, definitive, feedback, advance, attitude, standard. Step 3, practice. Keep up the good work and continue practicing the D sound by completing the listening and speaking activities.
Great. Now, someone asked, where can we practice? Can you practice more? At e2school.com. So you're most welcome to sign up there. A lot of these sessions are free. Now, how do we produce that sound? Tip of the tongue to the back of the teeth, as it is here, as in t, but this time it's d. Drop our lip, but this time we see the yellow squiggle. That means it's a voiced sound. So if we put our fingers lightly, very lightly on our voice box, d, 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 we can feel our voice vibrating. T, t, t is silent or unvoiced. T, t, d, d. Okay, so when we say silent, it's not quite silent, but it's not voiced, doesn't involve our heavy vocal cords. Now, again, for those of you who've just turned up, what you can do is record yourself when you sign up to Speaking Lab on E2 School. Dynamite, definitive, feedback, advance, attitude, standard. Now, remember, I'm trying to do what the picture told me to do. If I don't do it well, I won't be that perfect. So let's see what I scored. We're in the green zone. I got 99%, but let's have a look. All right with that. All right with that. D, need a bit of work on that one. V and N needed work on that one. T on that one. And on that one. Okay. So I still scored well. I'm happy with that. There's our symbol, D, the phonetic symbol. How do we spell it? Well, most of the time it's a single D. Some of the time it's a double D. And other ones will be variations like DE as in blonde. So dog, product, red, just do what the graphic said. Ladder, buddy, suddenly, blonde, aid, horde, Gandhi, Buddha. All good? D, 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 d. And in the past simple, failed, returned, played. Let's review. There are words. Read them out loud to yourself and recognize the spelling. Okay, now try and spell 1, 2, and 3. The fireman climbed up the something. He walks his single something. I have 2, more than 1. In the chat box, away you go. Type the answers. Single, plural. All right, good work. Now we're correct there. What are we going to do? Now we do now what's the first part of pronunciation? It's, what do we call it? When we listen and notice things. Noticing is a very big word in language learning. This one is awareness. We become aware of the sound. So listen for our sound.
D, D, D.
Great. 1, 2, 3, or 4.
1, done, sun, run. 1, done, sun, run.
Write the number.
D, d, d. Done,
We got green, so well done.
d, d, d. Do, goo, to, sue. Do, goo, to, sue. D, 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 do.
Yeah, nice one. Okay, one more.
D, d, d. Same, tame, dame, aim. Same, tame, dame, aim. Dame,
Good work. That's our D sound. Now this one, highlight the correct words. Remember these words, these sounds appear in sentences, and we're going through our awareness learning. So which words contain the sound D, D, D? Here we go. Which ones? Type them in the chat box.
a lot has been written about how declining birth rates, falling populations, and population aging will lead to the death of the West. A lot has been written about how declining birth rates, falling populations, and population aging will lead to the death of the West. A lot has been written about how declining birth rates, falling populations, and population aging will lead to the death of the West.
Yes. Okay. So moving at speed, listening, and typing. You're going to speed up. Yep. Here we go. This one.
These factors will end the supremacy of the US and Europe, while Asian economies, such as in China and India, will grow to match their huge populations. These factors will end the supremacy of the US and Europe, while Asian economies, such as in China and India, will grow to match their huge populations. These factors will end the supremacy of the US and Europe, while Asian economies, such as in China and India, will grow to match their huge populations.
We're right. Now, why is that? Because end and India all contain that single D sound. All good? Great. Now, tongue twister practice. Remember, awareness moves to practice. All right. Listen and repeat.
Edward is editing the document. Edward is editing the document. Edward is editing the document. Dogs desire dumplings daily for dinner. Dogs desire dumplings daily for dinner. Dogs desire dumplings daily for dinner.
Great. And read aloud practice in this one. Remember, read along silently for the first one and then read along with the native speaker for the second and third time. Here's the first time.
A lot has been written about how declining birth rates, falling populations, and population aging will lead to the death of the West.
Okay, now read along with the reader.
A lot has been written about how declining birth rates, falling populations, and population aging will lead to the death of the West. A lot has been written about how declining birth rates, falling populations, and population aging will lead to the death of the West.
Okay, good practice. Now, if you're on YouTube and it's making sense, if you can hear yourself producing those sounds more accurately by pushing the tongue to the front of the teeth, making a voiced sound and dropping our lip d, d, d. On YouTube, write the number 5 so you can tell your peers on YouTube that it's making sense. So if you're on YouTube, write the number, put the number 5 in if your pronunciation is getting better. Okay, I'll keep an eye on it. So write the number 5 on YouTube if it's working for you and your pronunciation is getting better. Here we go. The rest of us, all of us, listen and read along first and then read along second and third time out loud.
These factors will end the supremacy of the US and Europe, while Asian economies, such as in China and India, will grow to match their huge populations.
And again.
These factors will end the supremacy of the US and Europe, while Asian economies, such as in China and India, will grow to match their huge populations.
And keeping up.
These factors will end the supremacy of the US and Europe, while Asian economies, such as in China and India, will grow to match their huge populations.
Great. Thanks for writing those numbers in on YouTube. Everyone who does us on Zoom as well. The 5 is to congratulate each other and congratulate ourselves. So particularly congratulate you for making the effort and improving. All right. So that was t and d. How useful are they? Useful, many past tense verbs contain the sound t and d. And now we can identify the symbol t and make the sound. We can identify the symbol d and make the sound. We identify the sound and we can produce the sound accurately. Good one. Let's keep working hard. Here's the next one. And let's hear what the sound sounds like. It's spelled phonetically like this. So here's the sound.
Ooh, ooh, azure.
Great. So here's the sound again.
Ooh, ooh, azure.
Right. Now that's the color that it is. We try to associate colors with these sounds as well as graphemes or graphic so that we can remember what the sound sounds like. There's the color, and believe it or not, that is the color azure. So here we go. Michelle, can you explain it, please?
As in pure. Step 1, the sound. Ur. 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 Step 2, use the sound in words. Pure. Tour. Jewelry. Endure. Usual. Step 3, practice. Keep up the good work and continue practicing the sound by completing the listening and speaking activities.
Great. Thanks, Michelle. Now here's the sound. You can see what we do with our top lip. We round it. Whoop is what we do with our top lip and drop our bottom lip. The back of our tongue is drawn up towards our palate and we've got a vibration in our vocal cords.
Now
we're going to practice it. In fact, contact the muscle in your tongue and see if you can feel it being lifted. Do it again. Okay, now we're going to try and remember that picture as we practice. Okay, so but first of all, a little bit about spelling. Most of the time, it's a U-R or a U-R-E. Sometime it's going to be U-E-W-E, as in you. So let's have a look. Azure, curious, security, feel the muscle. Europe, cruel, jewel, usual, velour. All right, so there we are. There are our words. How do we spell them? 1, 2, and 3. So type the correct spelling of the word, and there's our grapheme or image, into the chat box. Person at the desk. I work as a a what? A ooh. First one. Second one, I visited a continent looking like that. France, Italy, and Spain. Good work. Yep, first one. security. I visited, capital E, Europe. Here I feel our tongue. Scientists are working towards a, good work, cure. All right, now you can all do that accurately. Hear yourself and feel yourself producing the sound. Now we're going to become aware of ua. One, two, three, or four.
Care, car, cure, core, care, car, cure, core. Cure.
Okay, trust your ears and commit on YouTube and on Zoom. Here's the sound again.
Tour, tire, tear, tear, tour, tire, tear, tear. Tour.
Good work. And this one?
Ferry, furry, fairy, fury, ferry, furry, fairy, fury, fury.
Good work. All right. Now that's our awareness of single sounds. What about words that appear in a sentence?
New insights into sleep have unearthed the enduring mystery of how the dream phase occurs. New insights into sleep have unearthed the enduring mystery of how the dream phase occurs.
Any other ones other than that? No, only one. Occurs is not ua. Good work, this one.
Scientists measured the active neurons of participants during a controlled sleep study.
Ua.
Scientists measured the active neurons of participants during a controlled sleep study. Scientists measured the active neurons of participants during a controlled sleep study.
Right, now measured is spelled with a U, but we don't hear that sound, do we? We only hear it in neurons and during.
Scientists measured the active neurons of participants during a controlled sleep study.
All right, good work. Now, tongue twisters, you're going to listen to these and repeat.
Are you sure the tourist is cured? Are you sure the tourist is cured? Are you sure the tourist is cured?
Good work. Feel your tongue working hard. This one.
The lure of the immature that the mature must endure. The lure of the immature that the mature must endure. The lure of the immature that the mature must endure. The lure of the immature that the mature must endure.
Good work. And the final thing, remember what it is? It's read aloud practice. So keep our tongues going, get it accurate. Well done. Read along silently for the first time, then out loud second and third time, along with the speaker.
New insights into sleep have unearthed the enduring mystery of how the dream phase occurs. New insights into sleep have unearthed the enduring mystery of how the dream phase occurs. New insights into sleep have unearthed the enduring mystery of how the dream phase occurs.
Okay, so if you think you've mastered or got better at ua, congratulate yourself and practice this one.
Scientists measured the active neurons of participants during a controlled sleep study. Scientists measured the active neurons of participants during a controlled sleep study. Scientists measured the active neurons of participants during a controlled sleep study.
Okay, keeping up. It's a good way to practice, isn't it? Read along with the native speaker. All right. Now, just before we do the next the next section, I just want to show you something here, and that is this. It's going to come onto your screen in just a second. Now, for everyone who signs up with a new package or upgrades, you'll receive a free IELTS ebook. Now, the free IELTS ebook is a toolkit to help you boost your IELTS score. And so it's tips and methods and practice tasks to follow in order to get better at performing in the IELTS tasks. So if you would like a copy of that book, you need to buy a new package or upgrade from your existing package up to the next level by making a purchase on the E2 language website, and then you'll receive free this E2 book, which is an excellent guide to success in, I didn't mean to stop sharing then, success in the IELTS test. Okay, so go for it, upgrade or make a purchase a package, and you'll be able to access, again, I did it again, access that booklet, which was put together by our wonderful Alex. And she put together the information or the material that's in this to guide you through the IELTS test by improving on your skills all the way through. To gain access to that, you need to upgrade or buy a new package. Cool. So if that interests you, feel free to go ahead and partake of that offering by following through on it. Excellent. In the meantime, we are going to head back to our fourth and final sound for this session, which is this one. Our sound for this session is, listen.
Oi, oi, turquoise.
Great. So that's a reverse C and an I, and that sound is?
Oi, oi, turquoise.
Turquoise, the sound turquoise. Michelle will explain it just a little bit more.
Oi, as in joy. Step 1, the sound. Oi. 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 Step 2, use the sound in words. Joy. Coin. Choice. Noise. Annoy. Employ. Step 3, practice. Keep up the good work and continue practicing the oi sound by completing the listening and speaking activities.
Brilliant. Okay, so we're going to get into our fourth sound, which is oi, and we're going to recognize how do we do it? Oi, oi. Round our lip, keep our tongue flat, and make a vocal sound. So hear the sound, but see what it is that you're trying to do. To spell it, O-I, noise, or O-Y as in boy, or U-O-I as in turquoise. Oil, join, noise. Joy, employ, boyfriend, lawyer, turquoise, life boy. There are our words and our spelling related to our sound of oi, O-Y, A-W, U-O-I, U-O-Y, O-I. Joy, boyfriend, lawyer, turquoise, life boy. Let's go for it. 1, 2, and 3. Spelling the words in the chat box. Away you go. Yay, we did it. Well done, our team. Okay, now remember, you've got to move quickly. If you got left out, you've got to move faster. All right, now we're going to listen through our awareness of this sound, identifying this sound
Oi, oi, oi.
in 1, 2, 3, or 4.
Can, coin, con, kin. Can, coin, con, kin. Coin, coin.
Yeah, good work. There's our sound.
Oi, oi, oi. Buy, bay, bow, boy. Buy, bay, bow, boy. Boy, boy. Nays, nose, noise, nice. Nays, nose, noise, nice. Noise. According to scientists, the choices we make ourselves are easily overridden compared to when we are told which choice to make. According to scientists, the choices we make ourselves are easily overridden compared to when we are told which choice to make. According to scientists, the choices we make ourselves are easily overridden compared to when we are told which choice to make.
Yes.
It seems we trust our inner voices less than choices dictated to us by an external stimulus. It seems we trust our inner voices less than choices dictated to us by an external stimulus. It seems we trust our inner voices less than choices dictated to us by an external stimulus.
Great. Now, we've got a lot of people working hard. Everybody work hard to get these right. Yep. Now, the tongue twisters here. Don't forget to feel your tongue in doing what it is we've asked it to do. Our vocal cords engaged, voiced, and our lips moving in the direction we need them to as well. Here we go. Here's the first one. Listen and repeat.
Noisy noises annoy oysters. Noisy noises annoy oysters. Noisy noises annoy oysters.
Joy and Roy made toys together. They weren't coy, whatever the weather. Joy and Roy made toys together. They weren't coy, whatever the weather. Joy and Roy made toys together. They weren't coy, whatever the weather.
And finally, our read aloud practice. Here we go for our oi sounds. Read along silently first, then with the native speaker second and third time.
According to scientists, the choices we make ourselves are easily overridden compared to when we are told which choice to make. According to scientists, the choices we make ourselves are easily overridden compared to when we are told which choice to make. According to scientists, the choices we make ourselves are easily overridden compared to when we are told which choice to make.
Don't forget to keep going. We've only got 2 more to do before it's the end of the lesson, so keep practicing.
It seems we trust our inner voices less than choices dictated to us by an external stimulus.
Here we go.
It seems we trust our inner voices less than choices dictated to us by an external stimulus. It seems we trust our inner voices less than choices dictated to us by an external stimulus.
Good work, everyone. Okay, so what did we do? Well, in our class today, we did this. We learned how to pronounce 4 sounds, t, d, and oi. We practiced our listening skills, continued on your pronunciation journey, and you got to know a little about E2 School. Now, you can sign up for $9 a month for it to work, or there's plenty of free that's on that website, on that platform. What I'd like you to also be aware of is that if you sign up for a complete package with E2 language, currently you will receive a free ebook, which will give you the method breakdowns and more practice tasks. Go on, Shiraz. If that was useful for you, let me know, because we want to keep these classes running, because my aim is to get you to hear yourself producing sounds you didn't used to produce accurately in order to produce and in order to score better in the test, but longer term, have people not comment on your pronunciation because there's no need to, because what you're doing is close to a native speaker accuracy. So if you feel that that was a useful session, let me know in the chat box, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Next week, we're going to do 4 more phonemes. Remember, there are 44 phonemes in the English language. If we do 4 a week, in 11 weeks, we'll have got through the whole lot. The important part is to become aware of it and produce. Great. Also, express that you understood what you've learned and you've got better. Letting me know is very useful. Letting yourself know is most important, that you realize, now I know what it is that I'm trying to do. I'm going to keep doing it. Good one. Thanks, Rachel and Johandra. Excellent to have you here. Thanks for that. Great. And Martha, great. Nice to hear. Martha was recognized she's got struggling with sounds and she's able to understand more what it is she needs to do. There will be major sounds. Th, r, l, d, and t are common ones, and z, and s, and ch, and sh. And we'll go through the 44 of them over the coming weeks. Excellent to have you here. Thanks for your positivity. It's always good to hear. And I look forward to, my name's David, Teacher David, and I look forward to seeing you and in the classes. Now, don't forget there is the Speaking Lab interactive class, which is on Thursdays at 3:30 Melbourne time. And in that class, Amber will get you to speak back across the screen and she will hear you and give you feedback. So it's a fun class to join in if you'd like to do that. Otherwise, I'll see you next week at this same time for more pronunciation practice. Have a great week. Thanks a lot.